Here we are on April 28th, Tuesday, a little over a month after the violent bottom we put in the stock market. And as usual, stocks make a strong V-shaped rally after such a dramatic drop. But the markets are definitely getting ahead of itself here. I mean, this is not warranted. The markets, you'd expect to retrace towards, about 50% of the decline. Well, it's now closer to 62% for most indices, and better than that on the NASDAQ, which has done the best. So I'd say at this point, stocks have overdone this. It still has momentum. It looks like going up into the good season of maybe mid-May or so. And then I think it's sideways, and we'll start to get some corrections. I mean, we will get corrections off this rally, and there will be some things that disappoint here as the economy settles into this deflation shock, just this stopping of demand as we slowly come back. And of course, we've been saying this in the stock market, which again, you can see is still like on crack. And with all this stimulus, trillions of dollars now, just beyond in a matter of weeks, money's got to go somewhere, and stocks are hoping for a quick turnaround like Donald is for getting reelected, and just not happening. So again, a little bit upside on stocks, definitely not the time to be getting into stocks. I'd say 10, 12% corrections or so coming ahead, maybe after a little more upside in May. And we just keep kind of drifting sideways to slightly up until this thing peaks somewhere, I guess, still between August and October towards the election. Gold, now most important topic. This is my most controversial call here in recent times. Gold got very close to my ideal target of 1,800. I said, that's as good as it should be. Back up to the strongest resistance without making a new high, because I still do not see this as a new bull market. And the reason why, again, gold's got every reason, money printing galore, promise beyond, but it is not seeing, just like stocks, the deflation shock and how hard it's going to come out of this. The economy is weak from 11 years of overstimulus, more debt than ever, all this sort of stuff. The economy is weak, and we are also coming into the worst demographic trends between 2020 and 23 in the US and a lot of the developed world. So not getting the deflation shock. So I think gold, high chance, has peaked here. It's 1789. It may go up and ring that 1800 at one more rally. I don't know, but gold is not able to break up here now after making two tops near that 1800 level. So I keep saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. There's no way to say, oh, gold won't go a little higher, but the downside is at least 1,000. In the couple of years ahead, and we get into deflation downturn, and it could be 700. I do think 950 to 1,000 is my best target now. So gold, I think, is peaking. So I know nobody would agree with that, but a good reason to agree with it is that everybody's thinking otherwise. Gold just got, again, in the last month, twice above 70% in investor sentiment. That's the highest it's been in 2 decades. It's been there a couple times there, but everybody's bullish. That's also a sign to be more conservative about gold. And finally, you just can't help but think, watching Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, has he already become the de facto Democratic presidential nominee? How could it go anywhere else? I know that Biden's the guy. I know everybody else has dropped out. I know Andrew Cuomo has said, no, I owe the state of New York. I'm staying here. I'm going to serve my citizens. They always say that. And he probably really means that. But look at this. What has everybody been wanting? Is Biden really coming up with any real solutions on the Democratic side? Talking about what should be done, what people should do, how you can stay healthy and safe during this? Is Trump, come on, Trump is really blowing this virus thing. Too slow to react, and just has to have these conferences and talk about stuff he has no idea. I mean, don't talk about disinfectants if you don't understand it. At least refer the conversation to your experts. But whatever, he is losing ground in the polls over this, okay? He's got to be thinking, I don't know if I want to run. Because right now, the polls say he would lose. Now, we can't count out the Donald. But there is no good candidate. And everybody's too old. They're all late 70s. Trump, Sanders, Biden, all of these people could have a health problem between now and the election. So I just can't help but thinking we get closer to the Democratic primary, and of course we may not even have some of these things, and people just start having this, let's draft Andrew Cuomo in New York State. Look, please give us your best son here. We need him. I have been looking at this for a long time. I know in major crises, and this is going to be the biggest crisis we see in our lives, financially and socially and politically, leaders have to emerge, real leaders. There is not one. Elizabeth Warren is the closest thing. You know, passion with a plan. Andrew Cuomo has done everything we would want. Sits and explains everything logically. Here's the facts. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. Here's what we're doing. Here's how we're going to roll this out. Here's how we're going to test it. And most importantly, here's what you can do to help us. And here's what you can do to help yourself. This is what we need. This guy's it right now. The only person showing true leadership, and he happens to be the governor in one of the largest states that is by far going through the worst crisis. So again, I would not be surprised. I think this election is still up for grabs. I don't count out the Donald. People counted him out last time and he came back. He's shrewd, but boy, he's not looking good right now. Biden just looks like, okay, we had nobody else, so we got to go with the guy who was vice president that Obama endorsed. I'm sorry, he's not the ideal leader in the biggest crisis in history. So again, we'll keep you updated.